take the feet hip width apart, wiggle the toes, and just gently rock yourself forwards and then rock yourself back to your heels. So taking the weight over the toes, like the big toes, scrunching up the toes, and then rock it back to the heels. The shoulders just coming forwards over the big toe, and then rocking it back, shoulders back, over the hips. Just 2 more. Just have a little notice of your breath. Just try and calming the breath down if you've rushed in. Then soften the knees, tuck the pelvis under. So maybe just adjust like little headlights on the hip bones and lift them slightly. Draw yourself up nice and tall, lift the rib cage, shoulders back. Crown of the head then lifting up towards the ceiling. So try not to look down, just listen to me for this next bit. Try not to look down at the screens. Pull in pelvic floor, take it 100%. So front bit, so pubic bone in towards the middle, back bit coccyx back to the middle. And then scoop in that TVA, so that tummy button, and draw it back in towards the spine, and all doing that without holding the breath. And we're going to pull those both in. Now, you might prefer to go TVA than pelvic floor, or you might go pelvic floor TVA. Maybe you can do them both together, that's totally fine. 10 times, 1 second, pulling in nice and fast, slow release, both of them out. So that's 1. And again, pulling in, TVA, pelvic floor, and slow release. Pulling in, nice and fast, just get a bit of strength in there, and slow release. And pulling in, and slow release. Now just take a check you're not holding your breath. Pulling in, and slow release. 5 left, pulling in. Just breathing normally here. 4 left, pulling in. Slow release. 3 left, pulling in. Check that TVA is coming in as well, and slow release. 2 more, pulling in. Pelvic floor up, and slow release. Last one, pulling in. Slow release it down to an engagement, so like 30-50%. The pelvic floor's there, you know it's there. TVA's drawing in. So we did this a few weeks ago, and we're going to go with this one again, but I'm going to add to it. So breathing in through your nose, and you can scrunch up your fist with this one. Breathing in through your nose open, breathing in through your nose up, and then we're going to release, and we're going to bend the knees and see if we can just brush the fingertips on the floor. So it goes in through the nose, in through the nose, in through the nose, breathing out and release. And then we're going to go again. In. Okay, and then just go for your own time with this. Maybe, you know, you're not like on the same level, same speed as me. And release. And if you feel like on the release, doing a big, go for it. I can't hear you. Lift. And release. It's a lower back release. Nice breathing exercise, nice and energizing. 3 in breaths. Bending the knees, check the knees don't pronate in. The arches are lifting as you do your big release. Starting to get some heat in the body. 3 more. Last one. Nice, coming up to standing then. So one of my favourites, lift the arm at level with the shoulder, ear down to shoulder, and then reach, shoulder glide, pull in that core, recenter, press down with the feet, lift that arm up to the ceiling, let's get some height from the hip out, then over into your side bend. And then we're going to release and we'll go on the other side. We're going to do 3 on each side, so it's lift, ear down to shoulder, feel the neck release. And reach it to the side, pull in that core, recenter, lift those fingertips up towards the ceiling, take it over for your side bend, try not to lean forward, try not to lean back, and then again other side lift, neck release, reach, see if you can keep the arm up level with the shoulder, press down with the feet, lift the arm up, take it over, side bend, Try not to look down on these side bends. Other side, and lift, ear down, and reach. Pulling in that core, feel that 30-50% pelvic floor TVA. Side bend. Again, try not to look down. Last time each side, and lift. Ear down to shoulder, gently into that neck release, and reach. That core's pulled in, hips are still. Reach that arm up. Take it over for that side bend, not looking down. Release, last one. Arm up level with your shoulder. Gently into the neck release and reach. And recenter. Pull in that core, reach the fingertips up. Over for that side bend. Hips are still. And then release. Just take a couple of little rolls there for the shoulders. Nice little release. And then we're just going to take the shoulders down and back, tuck the elbows in, check the elbows aren't behind the body, they're in line with the body. Then check the pelvis is tucked under, so really turn those headlights and lift them up. Palms up, and we'll go for the scapular set. So drive the thumbs back behind the body and recenter. And I haven't done this for a couple of weeks, I can really feel this one today. Check now that as you take your thumbs back, you're not arching in the lower back. So draw up that pelvic floor. And you might even notice then you need to pelvic tilt a little bit more and pull in that TVA. So get a little bit more of a squeeze, pull that tummy button in. Try and keep those hands level with the elbows. And if you feel like it, maybe hold the stretch and then just take another little breath in here. See if you can work a little bit further into it and then come back in. So like if you want, hold and then take a breath. Notice when you take a breath if you're arching in the lower back or tilting in the pelvis. And then release. One more. Hold, drive those thumbs back. Take another breath. And then release. We're going to go straight into our squats. So maybe feet a little bit wider. And the knees. Take the hips back in space. Breathe in and rise. Keep it going. So we're going to go for 20. If you want a single leg, then go maybe 4. Take 4 of the doubles and then just go into your single leg version. And maybe do 8 on each side. Thinking about here where we are, we got the shoulders are directly over the knees. Knees don't pronate in. We're pulling in that core with this as well, so we're still keeping that 30-50% pelvic floor TVA. Try not to look down, so looking forwards. Squeezing those glutes as we rise. Option if you want a nice big circle with the arms at the top. A little bit of a different kind of take on things. See if you can circle the arms back over the head. That's a bit of a nicer way of opening the chest than circling forwards. Maybe you could, circling forwards is interesting. Try both. Circle back. Circle forwards. Who's counting? 4 more. Notice what's happening with the feet. Check the arches aren't dropping. Last 2, then a tiny bit lower. Last one. And release. So we're going to go for a balance and we're going to go to the tree pose. But we're going to take the tree pose into our calf raises. So tree pose, you take the knees slightly round to the side. Doesn't matter which leg because we're going to switch. Hands on hips, or maybe like the mudra, index finger and thumb. Other fingers are straight. Or you want to hold on, that's totally fine. What I'm going to give you though here is not really high on the tree pose. Place your foot and just place it into the ankle. So we're going to keep it there for like a bit of a support. Just put a bit of pressure there onto the ankle. Maybe the heel goes around the back or around the front, whichever you're comfortable with. Then see if you can do 8 of the heel lifts that we normally do. So just take the weight towards the front of the foot and lower. So use that little bit of pressure from the other foot onto the ankle to help support the ankle. So it's just kind of a different way of doing our little calf raises here. Think about pulling in the pelvic floor, pulling in on that TVA, tummy button, pulling in. And it's kind of interesting because you have to engage that foot that's resting on the ankle. You have to kind of engage it and kind of press it in a little bit. It's kind of interesting. So both feet are kind of working. A little bit of a lift. Index finger to the thumb, fingertips touch, other fingers are straight. That's the balancing mantra. Then we'll go to the other side. So first it's a little bit of a hip opener. See if you can edge the foot just up towards the ankle. If you've had a glass of mulled wine already, then you might be struggling. When you're ready then, just going up into your heel lifts. Towards that big toe, pull in the pelvic floor, pull in TVA. Just tiny little lifts, it doesn't have to be too high. Try and get the engagement, so press that foot into the side of the ankle. Should feel a little bit of like a stretch there on the abductors as well, because obviously we've rotated the knee out to the side. Small little lifts. 2 more. Last one. Nice, just a little bit of a shake out on the legs after that one. So we're going to work a little bit more on some yoga balancy things, but some kind of stretching for the lower legs. I'm going to keep my camera like that just for a minute, move it back. So take a nice wide stance on your mat. Turn your right foot out to the side and then just line up your heels. So you'll know this one, you've seen it in pictures probably, and you probably know it anyway. It's the warrior 2. So line up your heels, then try and square your hips forwards, arms out to the sides. Take the palms up, breathing in, bring the arms together. I know you can't see that, and then breathing out, come down to like your surfer kind of position. 2 more, breathing in, lift, and then breathing out, slowly lower into that, and you should get this lovely stretch on the inside of the thigh. So 1 more, I'm just going to adjust something. Then just turn the palms over and then look over to your right finger, middle finger. Take a nice steady gaze. Just keeping that crown of the head kind of drawing up towards the ceiling. Keeping the length there in the chest, the hips are squared and going forwards. And then from there we're going to tilt the right elbow down towards your right knee to like a side angle, like a side stretch. And we're going to move in with this one, so we're going to recenter it. And then going again, so we're just moving gently into that side bend. And recenter, breathing out. Last one, into your side bend. You have to really engage through your feet, so maybe a little bit of scrunching on the toes. Then we're going to just take the left elbow and we're going to see if we can tuck that into the waist. Really nice, quite difficult as well. Reverse warrior. And that can feel uncomfortable if you haven't done that one for a while. Recenter that, then straighten out your right leg, reach the right arm forwards to the side, and then coming down to a triangle. And triangle option, you could place your hands behind your head and see if you can draw your elbow up towards the ceiling. And with this one, really think about the chest. So try and keep the rib cage, the chest open. Press down with your feet. You should feel the stretch there on your hamstrings too. And maybe you want to straighten the arm up towards the ceiling. So releasing from that, we're going to go onto the right foot and lift the left leg up. So you might want to hold on for balance, or you might want to challenge your balance. And then just reach the left hand down that left leg back behind you. Squeeze those glutes. This is a good balance. Really engages all the muscles in the feet and the ankles. One more deep breath. Then place that left foot behind, and we'll go for our warrior one, which is our calf stretch. So on this one, your left leg is nice and straight. You're pushing down that heel, and you're going to bend the right knee. Pressing down here, you can draw the arms up towards the ceiling, and then maybe you feel your hip flexors stretch. Again, just keep engaging, keep pushing down through the heel. Scrunch the toes up on the right foot. Straighten the legs, and then you're just going to bend over forwards like your back becomes like a table. Send the crown of the head forwards here. Legs are straight, and you get quite an intense stretch on the hamstring on this right leg. See if you can work at kind of almost like sticking your bum up, but it's kind of straightening out your back. Eye gaze down towards the mat. Breathing in lift then. We're going to do all of that sequence all the way on the other side, and it's going to feel amazing on your legs and a really nice release. So again, line up your heels, turning your left foot out to the side. Bending in that knee. I've tried, this is actually my right side, but I've tried to do it. Sorry, I matched you, but I've done it wrong, haven't I? Never mind. Bending into that knee then. Square the hips to the front. Draw in that pelvic floor, that TVA. Arms lifted. Palms up. Breathing in, straighten the arms, bring them over the head. Breathing out, pressing them down. 2 more. And left. And lower. Should feel those stretches inside, like the inside thighs and the hamstrings. And pressing down. Then just take the eye gaze, so for the neck, looking over that middle finger, over to the left. Keep thinking about pushing your hips forward, squaring them to the front. Really thinking about the chest as well, so thinking about opening in the chest. Ready to bring that elbow down to the knee into your side stretch. Reaching up and over, recenter. And then again, breathing out. Start to really think about pressing down with the feet. Recenter. 1 more. Take it over, side bend. Recenter, then go for that reverser. Tuck that elbow into the side. Lifting up and over. Think here about opening out the rib cage. Perhaps taking the eye gaze up. Bring and release, straighten that leg, reach it forwards. If you need to shuffle yourself in, I often do on my triangle. Reach forwards, legs are straight. If you did the version with the elbow, think about the elbow going up to the ceiling. Eye gaze goes up. This one's mainly for your chest and your hamstrings. So legs are nice and straight. Imagine your feet are like little hoovers here, it's just sucking up the mat. And then maybe straightening the arm. Take a big deep breath. Releasing from there, switch it so you're looking towards your left side. Push down that back heel for your calf stretch. Your hip width apart. Arms up towards the ceiling, and think about grounding through this back heel here for your calf stretch and engaging through the front foot. So maybe scrunching the toes on that front foot. Eye gaze forwards. Big deep breath in. Breathing out, just folding forwards, straighten the legs. Turn that lower back into this nice straight table. So think about squaring the hips to the way you're facing here. So try and square the hips and you get more of an intense stretch for your hamstrings. Think about the crown of the head, sending it forwards. Deep breath. Slowly lifting yourself up, face this way, and we've got wide legs still. Just turn the toes so they're slightly facing in. Breathing out, slide the hands down nice and slow. Come down. So if you can get your fingertips near the mat. Looking back between your legs, so let your chin dip down. Crown of the head going down towards the floor. Breathe in, just take a half lift. So half lift, nice straight back again. Breathing out, come down. Really juicy stretching on the backs of the legs. 2 more, so breathe in, half lift. Think about that crown of the head shining forwards, breathing out. Just folding forwards. Last one. This is kind of good for posture, getting this half lift. And breathing out lower. Just walk your feet in together and make your way down. We're coming down to the mat. Just take a downward dog. And we'll meet all down in downward dog. Should feel like super spacious in your backs of your legs and your chest after that little routine. Send the hips up towards the ceiling. If downward dog's not working for you, take your puppy dogs. Heel toes, so just walk yourself through your dog. Sending those hips up and the chest towards the thighs. Spread those fingertips. 1 deep breath. Invigorating, energizing. Blood all goes to the brain. And then just lower yourself down. We're coming down to all fours. Hands under, shoulders, knees under hips. Now just take a pelvic tilt, find neutral spine, pelvic floor in, TBA in. So we're going to take right hand lift, left leg extend. We're going to hold, squeeze that left glute, and we're going to work with the neck here. So look to the side, center, and then in towards the reached out arm, and then recenter, and then we're going to go to the other side. And I'll add in as we go. So go to the other side, left arm lift, right leg lift, squeezing in that right glute, then take the eye gaze to the side. So working with the neck to the side, center, other side. Almost like if you were standing and I was getting you to look side to side. Other side, breathing out, lift. Now, if you want to challenge lifting to balance, so lift up that resting foot, then add in that neck release. If you can, look to the side. Center, over to the other side. And then we'll go to the other side. It's really tricky, isn't it? Breathing out, extend. Then again, if you want, bring in the balance. Lift up that foot, pull in that TBA. Then add in, looking to the side. I don't know why. Why is it so tricky? 1 more each side. Breathing out, extend. This low handshake, let's see if we can really lift it shoulder height. Into the balance. Looking to the side, center. Over to the other side. Keep squeezing on that glute. This is the last one. Breathing out, lift, extend. Try not to arch in the lower back. Take it to the balance. Challenge yourself. Look to the side. Center. Other side. And release. Just stepping the left foot forward. We take a low lunge. So just allow the hips to sink down and then kind of engage the legs and suck the thighs towards each other. Pull in the core. Prayer hands. And then bringing in a twist. So we've got that left leg forward. We're going to drive and bring the right elbow towards the left knee for a lovely little twist. Think about the crown of the head here. See if you can keep it in line with the palms going up. Big deep breath in here. Recenter. We're going to quickly switch that one over. So right leg forwards. Again, let the hips sink. Then draw the thighs towards each other. Pull in the core. Zip up pelvic floor. Palms together. Put in your twist. Slowly just bring your elbows across, a bit like when we're doing our spine twist. Then drop the elbow forwards. And then think about lifting shoulders back. Lift up the chest. Eye gaze to the side. Pulling in that core. Big deep breath. Slowly release. Bring yourself down, lying on your front. Again, you see me on my mat. And we're going to cactus out the arms, so you do need a little bit of space for that. Cactus the arms level with the elbows, elbows level with the shoulders, forehead down. Think about this crown of the head now, it's going to shine forwards, breathing up, lift head and shoulders. Pull in that pelvic floor and lower. So we're going for the swan dive. And I'm going to put a little combo into this one as we get going. Breathing out lift, breathing in lower. Just allowing the lower body to relax and be heavy for a minute. Think about the top of the spine, doing your lifting here. So option 2 is to start lifting the arms up as well, so if you can get to the same height. Breathing out lift. Breathing in lower. Try not to lift the head, so keep that crown of the head shining yourself forwards, in line with your spine. Adding in if you want, then breathing out lift. Breathing in, then breathing out. Extend, reach those arms forwards. Come back to that cactus and lower. And again, breathing out lift. Breathing in, then breathing out, reaching forwards to really take your time, work for these extensions. Bringing it back and lowering it down. So a little challenge here if you want it then. So it's again working with the breath. Breathing out lift, breathing in, then breathing out, extend. Then hold for breath. Breathing in, breathing out, then bring it all back down. So just challenging yourself with stillness, I suppose. And lift, reach. Bring it back and lower. 2 more, breathing out lift. Reach. And then when you breathe out on that second breath, just so if you can get a little bit further into your reach. Last one. Breathing out lift. Breathing in, breathe out, extend. Breathing in, breathing out, and reach a little bit further. Then come back to cactus. Then lower it all down. Press yourself up, we'll go for a cat stretch. So look back towards the knees, tuck your tummies in, chin to chest. Big deep breath, and this is where you want to send the breath right between the shoulder blades. So from here we're going to go a little bit of upper body. I did a lot on that last week, but just take your hands off the mat and take them onto fingertips. And then just allow your pelvis to drop slightly, because we don't want to arch in the lower back, and we're going to take our fingertip press ups here. So think of it as a chest stretch. Breathing out, bending in the elbows, lower yourself down towards the mat. Breathing in, press yourself up. So try and keep the back straight here, we're not arching in the lower back. Breathing out, coming down. Breathing and lift. And it really is more of a chest stretch than what we would say like a classic press up where we're bulking out biceps. 2 more, breathing out lower. Keep thinking about that pelvic floor and that TVA drawing in. 1 more. And lifting up. So from there, we're going to come down to our front plank. So elbows underneath your shoulders. So run with me. TVA in, pelvic floor in, lift up the hips. And I'm going to work today with being really still, so we're not going to move. So if you want to straighten legs to make it harder, lift your plank up and straighten legs. So here I want you to really focus on pulling in that pelvic floor, maybe 80%, and that TVA tummy button lifting in, the crown of the head in line with the spine, so we're not dipping or we're not lifting the head. And just breathing nice and steady. I've been reading a really good book recently called Stillness Speaks. So that's why I thought I would keep the plank nice and still today. Try and keep that crown of the head in line with the spine. Keep drawing in those tummy muscles. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower yourself down. We'll have a little rest. And we're just going to do one more because I'm doing slightly longer holds. So we'll do one more and we'll just keep it again really still. When you're ready then, pelvic floor in, TVA in, lifting up the hips. Keep the shoulders down away from the ears. Think about the crown of the head so the chin slightly dips down towards the chest. Straightening legs if you choose. Big focus on that tummy button pulling in. Pelvic floor in. Try not to hold the breath. Focusing on the breath, that nice long out breath. Keep coming back to that TVA, keep pulling in. Pelvic floor drawing in. Crown of the head shining forwards. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower yourself down, sit back to your child's pose. Back towards your heels if you prefer your puppy dog. And then just see if you can make a diamond. So index fingers together, thumbs together. Press that diamond down on the mat. Let your elbows drop to the sides. A little bit of a wiggle side to side with your hips. So if you can get your forehead down to the mat. And this is where you want to send your breath down towards your belly. So abdominal breathing. Send the breath to the lower back. You can breathe in through your nose and then out through your nose. Last breath. Doing time waste. So from there, we're going to go onto our sides. Come down then, bending the knees, lift the heels up level with the hips. Pretty standard here. I'm going to take 8 clams. Let's let somebody in. Somebody got chucked out, I think. 8 clams, so just shift your top hip forwards. Hi Kate, sorry you left us then. Lift the top knee and lower. Take that check, pelvic floor, TVA in. Shoulders are relaxed, down away from the ears. It's a nice little stretch for the neck, this one too. Got everyone with us, so we'll go 8. Breathe out, lift, 7. And 6. Try and keep that hip still so we're not opening the hip, we're working with the pelvis. 5. Pulling in that TVA, find your tummy button, draw in. 4. 3. 2. 1. Straightening out the legs then. Lift the top leg, pull in pelvic floor, lift the bottom leg. And lower. Lift, lift, and lower. Adding in then lift, lift, rib cage lift, and lower. Same again, lift, left, rib cage left, and lower, a little bit more, left, left, rib cage, and sweep the arm up and over, and lower, and left, left, got to put in that core, rib cage left, and sweep, and lower, one more, left, lift, core in, rib cage up, and sweep, and lower, lift that top leg, then we're going to side kick, flex the foot, kicking it forwards like in front of the body, point the toe, bring it back, same again, flex to point, so this really gets right into the calf muscles, the hamstrings here, see if you can get that leg up to 90 degrees, and point, and flex, keep the control in there, breathing out as you kick forwards. If you want a bit more hands behind the head, take that big twist on the body, bring the elbow forwards, you've got to pull in the core for that one, flex the foot, opening out, breathing out, 2 more. Such a brilliant way to stretch out all the hip flexors, the hamstrings, working into the chest on that twist, and release. Over to the other side then. The last thing through the side stuff. I've got quite a lot of the ab stuff I want to do. Bend the knees. Notice your feet here. So like you were doing a squat or something, your feet aren't completely relaxed. There's a little bit of tension in the feet. Then just tilt that front hip forwards, that top hip. Lift the knee and lower. Should straight away get glute med. That's the round, the side, the back of the bum, and lower. Double check the TVA. Sometimes we go on our side and I tilt you forwards like that. You lose that TVA. So really pull in. Find the tummy button, draw in. Find the pelvic floor. Shoulders relaxed. Let's go. 8, 7. Breathing out as you lift. And 6, 5. Keep that control in the pelvic floor, the TVA. 4. Breathe out, lift. 3. And 2. Last one. Straightening out the legs. Ready for these leg lifts. So lift the top leg. Lift the bottom leg. And lower. Really think about pelvic floor here. Lift. And lift. And lower. Let's add in. Lift. Lift. Rib cage. Oh, this side's rubbish for me. Oh. And lower. And lift. Lift. Rib cage. And lower. Adding in a bit more. Lift. Lift. Rib cage. Sweep that arm forwards. Bring it up. Get as high and tall as you can. And release it back down. Lift. Lift. Rib cage. And sweep. Think about opening up the rib cage on that sweep. And lower. Last one. Lift. Lift. Rib cage. You've got to put in that core. Sweeping it up over. And release it all back down. Into that side kick then. Flex the foot, lift it up to hip height. Kick forwards, point the toe, bring it back. And you want to really squeeze and exaggerate on these flex and point. Flex, point, bring it back. Drawing in the core then, so pelvic floor in, TVA in. And point. Bring in that full body stretch if you want, hands behind head. Flex the point. Drop the elbow in front. Little touches. Like little snowflakes. 2 more. Opening out. Really take your time to get into the chest. Last one. Keeping that flexed. Take it into the point. Release, and we're going to take that onto our back. So roll over, get comfortable, find neutral spine. So if you need pelvic tilt, find the length at the back of the neck. If your chin goes up to the ceiling, grab a
cushion or a block and just put it underneath the head, or even rolling the mat. Even just rolling the mat's quite a good way of doing it as well. But I'm going to do that today. Feel the length there at the back of the neck. Shoulders go relaxed. Find pelvic floor, find TVA. And we're going to go for our classic, our 5 sets. 4 toe taps, 8 pulses, and an 8-second hold. First layer, I'll stick it in beginner's layer. Keep the right ankle behind the knees. So 4 toe taps. Are we ready? Hips are still, we're pulling in the core. 4, 3. Really notice here if your lower back's tilting, so try and keep it still. 2, 1. Lift and pulse. Look towards your knees. 8, 7. Tummies are still. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slide the hands up to the knees. Ribs are going to hips. Hold. 8, 7, 6. Pull the tummy button in. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And release. Ready to go again. If you want a little bit more tabletop it, means you're going to have to work harder on your TVA and imprint. So lower back pressing down towards your mat. 4 toe taps. 4. Try and keep that right ankle behind the knee. 3. Keep the shoulders relaxed, palms up. 2, 1. Lift and pulse, and you can hold your tabletops. Think about your imprinting. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Straighten the legs. Reach ribs to hips. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And release. And we're going to go straight back in for toe taps. Imprinting, pelvic floor in. 4. Think about these snowflakes as these toes go down. 3, 2, 1. Lift and pulse. Tummies are still. 8, 7, 6. Keep the forearms nice and strong. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Straighten the legs. Reach. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release it back. 2 more sets to go. Ready then. 4 and 3. Right ankles behind the knee. 2 and 1. Lift and pulse. 8, 7, 6, 5. Keep thinking about your imprint. 4, 3, 2, 1. Straining legs. Reach. 8, 7, 6. Keep breathing. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And release the last one. Whichever level you're on. 4 toe taps. 4. Palms up, shoulders relaxed. 3, 2, 1. Lift and pulse. 8, 7. Tummies in. 5. Oh, missed one there. 6, 4, 3, 2, 1. Straightening the legs and reach. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And release. Full body stretch. I think maybe someone's off mute. I think it might be Kate.
Did you hear me go? Oh.
Yeah, I don't mind. It's fine. Maybe we should do a class one day where everyone's off mute. That might be fun. Big deep breath in. Breathing out. We're just going to bend the knees and take the arms up towards the ceiling. Breathe out and then just let the thumbs drop over the head. Touch the thumbs and then lift it back up over the body. So breathing out, keep the control with this. Gonna get the thumbs to touch today. I normally twist you around and do little fingers and then bring it back. A couple more just like that. Keep the control. So think about imprinting lower back down. And the control here for the shoulders. Try and keep the shoulders pressing down towards the mat. Take it back, thumbs if you can touch. Thinking about keeping the rib cage down. Adding in then, so take the arms over the head, keep the same amount of control. You're pulling in the core, lengthening out one heel to a single leg stretch. Then bring it all back in together and we'll go to the other side. Lots of control with this. Think about the shoulders being still, not tilting. Think about the hips being really still here too. Everything lengthening as you breathe out. Breathing in, bring it back together. Keep thinking about your imprint. So it's kind of really slow, steady moves, but lots of control. If you want a little bit more, you want to work harder, you've got your imprinting and your tabletops, then your single leg stretch in that position. Exactly the same, arms going over, keep the control. Keeping that rib cage down. Single leg stretch down from tabletop. Not necessary if it doesn't feel good. You can totally work the single leg stretch as I showed you first. Whichever one you're on, 4 more. Breathing out. Really working this length here in the body. Last one. Bring the feet down then, and we're just going to T-shape the arms out to the side, or cactus if you haven't got the space. Breathing out, let both knees drop across to one side. It's that lower back release. Breathing in, recenter, over to the other side. And you can look in the other direction. There's your neck release, chest stretch. Adding in if you want, then tabletop it. Draw the knees across to one side and then lengthen out the legs. So it's a really nice juicy hamstring IT band stretch. Over to the other side, lengthen out, take the corners of the room. Try and keep the shoulders nice and heavy, pressing down into the mat. Maybe go palms up, and then you get that really nice long line across the arms. Breathing out as you extend, 2 more. Or maybe you're just working with your stretch here. Working in that chest. Shoulders heavy. Bring the feet down. We're going to take a hamstring stretch. So one leg up towards the ceiling. Try and keep the back of the head, the shoulders down. And then just a really nice slow circle. So maybe flex the foot and then just take it for the ankle. A nice slow circle here. Try not to tilt in the hips or let the other knee pronate out. Then circle the foot the other way around. You just feel like you're taking all those little muscles in the ankle and giving them a little bit of a stretch. And then you feel the hamstring as well. Pushing away at the back of the knee, get that hamstring. Other side, same thing. Try not to compromise the neck, the shoulders, or the posture that we do. To get into your stretch, take those really nice slow circles. Like you've got a pencil between your toes and you're just drawing. I've got a spirograph set for Christmas. I'm really excited about trying that out. Simple little things. Push right at the back and then you get that hamstring. Okay, so a little bit of stuff we've been working on recently is the chest lift, and we've been working with the new shoes. So just take the hands behind the head, let the elbows drop out, so chest just relaxes. Breathing out, lift head and shoulders, straightening one leg, you're looking at your new shoes. Then bring it back down, other side. Breathing out, lift. Think about the chest lifting, not the elbows coming in. And lower. It doesn't actually have to be a very high lift to get rectus abdominis, it's just the muscle at the bottom of the diaphragm. So think about the chest doing the lift, not the neck kind of lifting. Ribs are kind of lifting up towards the hips. And maybe flexing that foot as you lift and straightening it. Maybe you feel the hamstring a little bit more here. 4 more. Breathing out, lift. Breathing in, lower. Two left. Chest lift. And lower. Hug those knees into the chest. A little bit of a rock or a circle. Rocking yourself up to a seated position. Check the time. Oh, I haven't gone over yet. Oh, I always go over normally, don't I? And we're going to do a little roll back. So if you're not comfortable rolling back, thinking about your S-shaped spine and then just letting your lower back C-shaped spine, almost like that massage there for this spine. And you're lifting up the chest, shoulders back. Even just a couple of them is quite nice anyway. If you're going to roll back with me, just see if you can lift the feet up off the mat, and just like snowflakes, just touch those big toes down, point the toes. C-shape the lower back. We're going to rock back. And we're going to lift it back up to a nice hover. And if you can, a straight back at that top point. And then again, C-shape the spine, rock it back. Maybe upright position at the top. 2 more of them. I'm just going to switch myself over because they're light better for me. Spin around. Working with your hovers. Those C-shapes, nice curling up the spine. And then if you can, we're going to come into that hovered position. So if everyone can take hover. And then think about the core. So pelvic floor TV pulling in. See if you can get the lift on the rectus abdominis. So with that, the rib cage gets a little bit of a lift. And let's see if we can hold 10 seconds. So again, we're going back to that stillness idea. Holding things still and keeping that control. Shoulders are relaxed. Holding in this balance. 10, 9, if you want a little bit more, straighten the shins like a little table. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We'll take a release, and then we're going to do this once more. We'll take a release with the back plank, so hands by the hips, lifting up the hips. If you want, eye gaze up. Draw that back down. Rock yourself up again to your hover. One more time in a 10-second hold. Find that biting point. Now, if you need to work harder, it's a teaser. So legs are straight, and we're taking that position. So whichever one you're in, and if you want, you can let go there. So up to you. 10, 9, think about shoulders down and back. Draw up the rib cage. Keep pulling in all those core muscles. 8, 7, keep breathing. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we'll release with the back plank. So your hands by hips, lifting up those hips as high as you can. Nice little engagement there for glutes and hamstrings. Slowly lower yourself down. Legs straight, then flex up the feet. Breathing in, let's get nice and tall. Really think about lifting up the chest, the rib cage. Eye gaze forwards, breathing out, circle the arms down and around. See if you can touch those toes or nearabouts. Breathing in, lift. Breathing out, then really press the heels down, engage the hamstrings halfway, or if you want, all the way down. Breathing in, lift back yourself, lift yourself back up upright. Then you're going to come forwards. Feel those hamstrings. Breathing in, lift. Breathing out, come down. And I'm going to give you, the challenge here is there's something we did earlier. So see if you can hold any of these points for an extra breath. So maybe it's this position, take an extra breath and then reach forwards. And maybe this position, hold for another breath. And then breathe in as you lift, and then breathe out as you come down, and then maybe breathe. Take another breath in full body stretch, and this is going to be harder in the lift. And then come up into your lift. You've sort of lost the momentum, you see, so it can be a little bit harder to just add in a few breaths here. So if you choose, you can put in those extra breaths, otherwise just work yourself through and use a bit more on your momentum. 2 more, whichever one you're working with. Maybe you're only going halfway down. You can hold halfway down too for an extra breath. Last one. Those nice big deep breaths in through the nose and out through the nose. Pressing down the heels, engaging those hamstrings. Release out of that, then come around for a spine twist. Either legs straight, legs crossed, whichever you're comfortable with. If you want to grab a cushion or a block. Get yourself nice and upright. Index fingers together, thumbs together, underneath the chin into the sternum. Focus here on the crown of the head, so get that lifting up towards the ceiling. Breathing in, get tall. Breathing out, take that twist, just edge those elbows around. Again, breathing in, get tall. And breathing out around to the other side. And again, we'll play with the breath. So coming back to center, breathing in. Breathing out, let's hold it and have another breath here. On that second out breath, again, just see if you can edge a little bit further around. Then recenter. Over to the other side, 2 breaths. That second out breath, trying to go a little bit further. Use those elbows. 2 more like this. Each time you breathe in, you get that little bit taller. Each time you breathe out, you get a little bit further into your twist. Last one. Coming to center then, and I want you to think about the upper body with this. We're just going to draw a circle. So let the shoulders come forwards. Think about the rib cage here. Let the rib cage sink back and round. So not just the head. Really think about like the rib cage part. You can see some people just doing their head and really rocking back. Maybe it's easier if I show you this way as well. And then circle the other way around. So the whole body comes forwards. And tilts it back. It's kind of challenging for the balance as well. It feels like you're going to tip backwards and then forwards. Kind of really testing yourself with the balance. Last one, bring it back to center. Hands at palm center. Namaste. Thank you very much.